Hello, this is Priscilla, and welcome to the Conversational English Speaking Hour. I look forward to our conversation. Rob, Thief, and Stole. Hello, Vincenzo.
Hello, teacher. I was thinking about your kind of lesson. Yes,
Hmm.
and the very strange thing is that uh, very strange because I think you, I know how you should give up your anxiety in order to leave your stream of ideas to goes out to go out to go out. It's an absurd, no? In a situation absurd this situation
Hmm.
because when you have to answer to something and you are afraid that not find words, the appropriate words, but you have to give up of this anxiety in order to live your free, can I say, free thoughts to go out to go out to go out. Yes, it's a kind of contradiction, I think.
Okay, continue trying to explain it because I'm not.
Do you
Continue.
understand what I mean?
No, I want you to continue. I'm not understanding. No.
Mhm. Yes, the problem, in order to have freely discussion, a free answer to a question, is
Hmm.
the anxiety. But so you should not have anxiety in order to answer something or not to think about something. You have to leave your thoughts to go freely without anxiety. And this
Hmm.
is a contrasting idea, no? Because there is something, always there is a certain fear of something that you can find the appropriate words or something like that, no?
Well, I'm still.
You have to give up this kind of fear. You have to be confident that if you are going to relax, you can find the real word, the appropriate word. This is impossible when you are in a situation of anxiety. Yes,
Right. It makes it more difficult. But I'm
yes.
trying. But I'm trying to understand. I'm really trying to understand. Are you saying that when you say you should, are you saying I should abandon the idea of helping you all in this manner?
The boundary there that you cannot find the right word, that you are able to find the right word. You don't be you shouldn't be afraid. Can I say perhaps should is not appropriate. You have the ability to find the right word. You have to be confident in yourself. This is the main idea, I think, that can help you. You
What do you?
have the possibility. I have the possibility to find the right word only if I leave myself in relaxed way.
So, do you disagree with my method?
No, I agree with you, teacher. I agree with you. Uh, but you have to. A person has to relax. This is
Hmm.
the first problem, no? Has to relax. This is a certain problem, no? Because at first you don't have all the possibility to you don't know all the words. You have other kind of problems like to put words together in a right order, grammatical right order, and other problems, you know. But if you go on be confident in yourself, yes, you can obtain. I think you can obtain this. I think this is the method that you are going to use, you know?
It is, and
Yeah.
Vincenzo, I will tell you that just as a child comes into the world without any stress and any real apprehensions, but
Yes,
but
this is for child, but we are not child. This is a fact. In this way, there is a contradiction, only a contradiction because we have fear. We have fear.
I
We have
know,
anxiety.
but
Yeah, yeah.
but what I want you to do, what I
Yes,
want you I want what I want you to do,
is
Vincenzo,
to think like
Vincenzo.
a child. Think like a child. Yes.
No, well,
No.
I don't know that I want you to think like a child. I want you to embrace. I want
Yes.
you to embrace the fact that you don't know something. I want you to acknowledge that you have difficulty. And once you acknowledge that you have difficulty, I liken it to when I was swimming. When I was swimming, I was afraid that I was going to drown.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And the teacher kept telling me, I got you. I will be right here. If you drown, I will drown. I may drown outside of that building, but as long as she was there, I did not need to fear that I was going to drown. So I trusted her and I let her take me into the deep water. I still had that fear that, you know, this is water and a lot of it. The
This is
more,
yes.
the longer she stayed with me in that
Yeah.
water, my confidence improved.
Yes.
It improved, it improved, and the stress of going swimming disappeared. I
Yes.
still,
Yes.
I still can't swim, but I'm not afraid of the water. But
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not afraid of water. Hello, Igor. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome, 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 welcome. Vincenzo and I was just talking about what it is that may be the block or the barrier for people to start speaking confidently, easily, and excellently in the language
Fluently.
and fluently in the language learner.
Yes.
But I honestly think my method is very good. It's one that
Yes. Yes. Yes.
has worked, and it's a process. It is one process of many. And Igor, I do not. Igor, are you the same as I Cake?
Yeah, I am the same.
Okay. Now, Igor, I don't know if you are self motivated, but a lot of people think that they are.
No,
A
I
lot of a lot of people think that they're self motivated, but after some period of time, they stop. They don't come with the same passion that they
Mm.
used to. And
yeah,
I will tell you this too, Vincenzo, that people who get things for free, they don't appreciate it. They don't come for free. Even if it were free, they wouldn't come.
No,
So,
no, yes.
it,
I don't think it's about free to have free things or not, teacher. Yes, I'm not so sure. Yes, I know that if you have to pay, you you are
you're
more
you're more
in a certain way, in a certain way.
you're more
Well,
motivated. You're more
you're
motivated.
more motivated, but we can't say that in an absolute. Yes,
Well,
mm,
Vincenzo,
let,
there isn't
let,
any, there isn't
yeah,
anything that you can say with 100% certainty, except that I know that I'm going to die. That is the only thing that is an absolute certainty that anyone can ever speak on. So,
yeah,
when we talk about adults, of course, I don't want to say every time I start to speak that I want to say, well, I don't mean in its entirety, but you have an understanding that I mean for the most part, people do feel this way. And I know because when I did my research, when I was doing my research for my doctoral studies,
mm,
I had so many classes that were free. And if you think these lessons are good, they had fantastic lessons. They had access to me anytime they wanted to call. I might not answer, but I would get back with them for free. And they would say, I didn't have time to do it. My dog, my dad, my somebody got
mm.
sick. And I'm like, but it's free. You're getting this for free. You can't you can't do this for me. So, but anyway,
But
what
I think
else?
the principal motivation is the interest of the singular people, not the interest, the passion. I think passion is, I think, is the most important things in this
Well, this
kind
is
of kind of
what the,
study. But I can define passion, teacher. I can define passion. What is it?
yeah. You found. Have you ever been? Have you,
Yes,
Vincenzo?
yes,
Have you ever been married? Or are
yes.
you married?
I was married because my wife
Okay.
is died. Yes,
Okay.
I
So you asked, how can you find passion? It's that kind of passion. That's passion. But
yeah.
Igor's here now, so let's not ignore Igor. Igor, we're just having conversation, which is still talking, but I do have a lesson today. Are you motivated to learn conversational English?
I think I am, and
And
it was tested. I know what you're
It
talking
was?
about. You
mhm,
can lose your motivation at
Yes.
some point,
mhm,
but my English was tested, and I've been learning English for about 3.5 years,
mhm,
and there were times when I wanted to give up, but
mhm,
I just looked back, uh, assessed everything that I've done, what I have achieved, and
mhm,
then I understood that giving up won't be a very good thing. It's like throwing away a big portion of your life.
mhm.
Yes, sir.
Last week or in next week, I will have the feedback, the Breakfast of Champions, and Vincenzo. I don't know if you were in that lesson, but that is when I say 80% of your success is going to depend upon your passion.
Yes,
It
yes,
doesn't
yes.
matter. It doesn't matter which method you use. You can use my method. You can use your own method. You can use Verbling's method,
Yes.
but that's only 20%. And those all of those methods are good, but it's going to come from passion. When I tell my students, I work at the International House for language learners that are becoming citizens here in the US,
Yeah.
and I tell them that they have access to me 24 hours a day. They can call me. They 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 come to the International House for free to get
Mm.
to be trained. They don't show up on time. They don't come. They're not motivated, but they want to be citizens.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they will continue to come and they will pass. But it just seemed to me if someone told me that you could come and get this for free, I would come every day. I would be on time every day. And if I
Mm.
wasn't on time, I wouldn't come up with excuses. And
Mm.
that's why I say excuses, excellence without excuses. If you give me 100%, it doesn't matter if 100% is not as good as the next person. But if you're giving me 100%, that is all that I can ask for. What did you want
Yes.
to say, Igor?
I personally tried to set up some language exchanges for free, of course, like my
Mhm,
native language is Russian, and
mhm,
people who are trying to learn Russian can just call me and I can try to teach them anything I knew about Russian, but uh, mm, it's about it's been about 30 people already, and none of them went far enough to continue on their learning.
mhm.
It's like most of
And you
them just give up.
and you were doing it for free. And this is what I'm saying, that the majority of the people, not all of them, the majority of the people has to have something to keep them motivated. And that is one of the reasons, Igor, I'll be finishing my doctoral program in about 7 weeks from now. And I'll have my doctorate or my PhD in educational technology for foreign language learners. And for 7 years, I have worked with foreign language students, giving them free lessons. And I can tell you, none of the seven that for the 7 years, I don't have the same ones that I started out with in the beginning. And that's okay. They come, they go. And there was one who I was just really passionate about going 100%, making sure that everything that I taught him, I documented, and I was giving him immense feedback on this is how much you have improved. And then he said he got a job and he just couldn't come and he
Mm.
hasn't come back. But and there are some that I have worked with that are here now in the States that said that they would send me some money when they when they got
Mm.
here. Well,
Ah, some money.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. But it's okay because
Okay.
I still needed them. I
Mm.
still needed them to
Mm.
get to where I am today. But I know that people need a coach to help them. The majority of the people need a coach to help them. We have people who want to lose weight. We want people who want to be swimmers.
Yes, but you are not an expert in this in this field,
Yes, I am
aren't you?
certified. Yes, I am certified.
Ah,
I am a
certified, yeah.
Yes, I am a certified
Ah,
coach.
okay. Ah,
So my methods are proven, and they have my methods. My
also you
method.
lose weight.
Well, I don't mean I'm not a coach for losing weight. I'm a coach
Ah,
for.
yeah, this. I mean, I was, yes,
Oh no,
I
no,
intended not to lose, especially in losing weight. Ah,
no. I'm not. I'm not obese.
okay,
I'm,
okay.
but I am 6 feet and I weigh 160 pounds. So,
Yeah.
so I'm not. I'm not fat, and I'm not really skinny.
No, no, no.
I'm just a good size. I'm an average
Uh,
size. But
I was thinking I was thinking that a good way to define a passion is what you do after the class.
exactly, and it's
Yes,
what I do with when I do a lesson. I go back and add something more to it, or take something out, or think what can I do differently. But let's just go ahead because we have
yeah,
Igor here. You have seen this lesson, but it will do you well to see it again because ultimately, um, Igor and Vincenzo, it is not the material that I'm giving you. What I'm presenting you with is the opportunity to speak with a native English speaker. That is what I'm presenting to you. I don't want to give you an article to read that I don't want to read. I want to give you something that's small, and then we will talk, just as we're doing now. So we're going to talk about Rob, Steele, and Stole. And if you have some ideas, please share them, and I will research them. And if they work, I will, of course, use them in my sessions as well. So, Igor, would you start to read? Would you read the intro thing, please, Igor?
Rap, thief, stole, or stolen.
Hmm.
Wazim, the train is moving very slow today, and your conversation is distracting me. I'm trying to steal a few wings before we arrive at my home. Could you put a lid on it, please? Cashbean gave Quasim an annoyed look and murmured, "It was your idea that I came along for this boring ride into the country. The least you could do is talk with me."
Okay, stop right there. This word is come. You said came, and I'm sure it's just a slip of the tongue, but this word is come.
Come.
Okay, this word is come. Now, do you understand what is going on in this first paragraph, Igor?
There are two people that they're thieves and they're planning to steal something, I think.
Okay, now
One of them dragged another one to the
okay.
train.
No, in the first paragraph, we don't know that they're thieves. This "steal a few winks" is an idiom. You have heard of idioms, correct, Igor?
I think it's about to sleep a bit.
Yes, he wants to sleep a bit. So this is the type of thief. So you can't steal from yourself. So he's trying to steal a few winks for himself. Quasm is a guy, and Gashman is a guy. They're both friends. They're
Yeah,
both friends.
one of them wants to catch a quick shut eye, and
Yeah, yes, a quick
another one
shut.
is talking to
Yes,
him.
the other one is talking, and he's saying that he only came to keep the one that wants to sleep company. But the
Yeah,
one that, but the one that wants to go to sleep said, "No, I never asked you to come. You came because you wanted to." I think I'm trying. Could you put it in? Yeah, he says it was your idea that I come along for this boring ride in the country. The least you could do is talk with me. And I think he's right. If someone insists and want you to come with them, then that he should stay away. That's just my opinion. But if we read the next paragraph, we find something else. Okay? Uh, Igor, read the next paragraph.
an argument was about to ensue. "No, I did not invite you," said Quasim. "As I recall, you volunteered yourself to come along. Remember? Will be enough trouble once we reach our destination. You can't speak the indigenous language, and I will be doing all the interpretations. I hope when we get to the next station, you will sleep like an angel."
And that is an idiom also, sleep like an angel. So now, in this paragraph, they are about to start arguing, and the word ensue means something is about to happen. And that something that is about to happen is an argument. Because Quasm says, I didn't ask you to come. You volunteered yourself. So you see, there is some misunderstanding on how Quasm, or not Quasm, how Gasprin came to be on that trip. Now, the other thing that is interesting is when Quasm says to Gasprin, you're going to be trouble enough when we reach our destination. You do not speak the indigenous language, and I will be doing all the interpretations. What exactly is he talking about? What do you think
Uh,
he's talking about?
he says that he's going to be a translator for him
So that
because
means, mm-hmm.
because one of them doesn't know the language that is
Yeah.
spoken in the area they're going to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, so Gasprin can only speak the language that he knows, but Quasm can speak Gasprin's language as well as the
Mm-hmm.
language of his native country. So he's got
Yes.
he wants Gasprin to be quiet because he has to do all the talking once he gets to their house. So he's saying, I hope you get to sleep like an angel because I'm trying to steal a few winks now myself. Okay? Continue, continue, Igor.
Fine, Quasim, said Gatsby. The train is stopping now, for new passengers anyway. I will not say anything. Look, Quasim, exclaimed Gatsby. That man with the brown cap and red umbrella just stole that lady's purse. Which lady? Said Quasim. The lady with the cane in the yellow pants and the top with a multitude of colors. Gatsby, we must help that lady get her stolen purse back, said Quasim.
Okay? Now, here's what we're seeing. While they're both supposedly being quiet, the train has stopped at the station to pick up more passengers. While the train has stopped to pick up more passengers, Gasprin notices a lady pointing at someone that someone has taken her purse. So he tells Quasm, we must help the lady. He describes the lady with the multitude of colors shirt. So here I have introduced a vocabulary word, multitude. What does the word multitude mean?
Means
Several.
a
Several.
lot.
Yes, it has several colors. So
Mm.
it's a multicolored shirt. It's many shirts, many colors.
Yeah.
And we see the word stolen. Notice how the word stolen is written. We're
Mm.
not talking about a thief now. We're saying that her stolen purse. Not her thief purse, but her stolen purse. All right? Now Quasm was yelling. Continue, Igor.
Quasim was yelling, "Stop! Stop!" in his indigenous language, and Gatsby was yelling, "Stop thief!" in his indigenous language too. They both were making such a commotion, and many people stopped, dead in their tracks. But no one knew what either of them was saying.
All right. What does the word indigenous mean?
It means native to just
Very
native.
good. It means native. So Quasm is yelling stop, stop in his language, and Gazrin is yelling stop, stop in his language, and the lady, let's just say that the lady speaks English and she's yelling stop thief, and it goes something like this. So nobody knows what anyone's saying, and that is the commotion. It's just a lot of noise. And the people that are at the train station, they stop dead in their tracks. That is an idiom as well. What do you think? What do you think this idiom actually
Uh,
means?
Well, they were just standing there, not understanding what is going on.
Yes, they were staring and looking and wondering what's going on. What is all of this commotion? The word commotion means chaos. What
What
is
all
all
the
of
fuss is about?
Yeah, what is all of this fuss about? So now For the last paragraph, Igor?
An official of the station approached the screaming boys and spoke Quasim's language and asked, "What is the problem?" Quasim said that a thief had stolen the old lady's purse. The official asked for a description of the thief. Quasim gave a description, and the official said, "This is a description of the same man that robbed the station this morning."
Okay. Now, does the word thief suggest that someone stole something?
Yes.
Does the word robbed suggest that something was stolen?
Yep.
And the word stolen means something was taken. So all of these words are in the same family. But it's only through dialogue and practice that you get to really feel which word do you use when and not have to understand why. There's a grammatical rule for using which word, but if you listen to the rhythm, you don't have to study the grammar. You
I
will
think
actually know. You'll
I,
actually know.
I think they just have different meanings. It's not about grammar.
No, yeah. Well, stole and stolen probably is more about growth. Stolen is more about the grammar, I think. But either way, I'm not really talking about. I don't want to talk about the grammar, but there will be occasions when the grammar will come into play. But I think it's more about just listening and paying attention to the rhythm and the dance of the language, and just be an extensive reader that you'll find out which one should be used. So now we have a pretty good understanding of what is taking place in this story. So Igor, tell me in 30 seconds what is going on in this story as I listen.
Okay, there are two friends on the train.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was talking. Another one of them was trying to catch
Mm-hmm.
some shut eye, and there was an argument about that because one of them was thinking that he was invited to go along with the man who wanted to sleep, but uh, the other man thought the other way around. But their argument didn't go too deep into their heat, and because there was one of them had seen that uh, a purse from a lady was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
So they started to yell, "Stop, stop!" And they were doing that in their native languages. That's why there was a lot of people on the train who didn't understand them and just were staring. And then an official just came up to them
Okay.
and asked for the description of the thief.
Okay.
And after this description, the official recognized that the man that had stolen the purse was exactly the same man who had robbed the station even before that.
Okay. Now you told me that in 1 minute and a half. I want you to tell me the story in 30 seconds now.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine because you do recall all of the details. Some details are not important. So now tell me the story in 30 seconds.
Okay, Quasim and Gashbin had an argument about something, but they had seen a lady purse getting stolen.
Mm-hmm.
They called an official to give their description about the man, the thief, and after that, the official just recognized that the man is just what they were looking for robbing the station before.
Okay, that was 17 seconds. Good. A little over 15, but much better. Um, uh, um, Igor, I'm not sure what, but it's interesting what you wrote in the chat box. What is it that you say that's exactly why people tend to have short memory for the good things you did, but they
Uh,
remember perfectly every single bad thing? What does that
that,
mean?
that is about what you were talking about. That people don't appreciate what they are given for free.
Oh, okay.
It's like a good thing. They think this is just something that just had to happen to them. You
Hmm.
know, they don't
Okay.
appreciate it, but they always remember all the bad situations. You know.
Hmm. And when they write to me, some people write to me now. They'll say, if you should do this, you should do this, you should be doing this. And I'm thinking, but you're not even paying me for what I do for you. You don't have what makes you think that you can direct what I should be doing? But anyway, all right. So now we're going to go on to our next part, and we had pictures for those who needed the pictures, but we don't need the pictures. Um, I'm going to go on down, 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 down. I'm going down, 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 down. Okay, I'm almost to the end. Okay, all right. So here we have the same idea that we had before. I want you to give me an idiom and then either an idiom, a verbal phrase, or an introductory phrase. What I'm doing as your coach is teaching you to think quickly and put things together. If they don't come together today, eventually they will. It's just an exercise. You first have to learn the steps and then you'll be able to do it and it works. So, Igor, give me an idiom or a verbal phrase or an introductory phrase.
To what word exactly?
Yes,
To any
yes, anyone, because you will use it in your story.
volunteer to do something.
Okay, so that's a phrase. You're gonna say I volunteer.
I
I
volunteer.
volunteer to, and you'll fill in the blank. Okay, you must use this word. All these three letters must be together. I volunteer to, and use all of these words. Argument, conversation. You may begin when you're ready.
Okay, I may summarize all of that, fix those words. Okay, so there was those two men. One of them was Gashbin, the other was Quasim. Gashbin thought that Quasim invited him to come along with him to keep him company, but Quasim just said, "You volunteered to come along with me. You know that you can't speak the language that is spoken at our destination, and you can't just speak the indigenous language." So their argument, because of that, was about to ensue. And also, Quasim said that he was going to be giving him all the interpretations of what was going on because he couldn't speak the native language out there at their destination.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a bit boring for Quasim because he didn't think that was exciting to just be in the train and wait for it to arrive at their station they wanted to go to. And this is when the Gashim had seen a lady's purse get stolen. Quasim asked him, "What, what man and what girl?" He said that the girl was wearing a top with a multitude of colors, and the thief was wearing a gray cap. So after that, they all started to yell, "Stop, stop!" But they were doing that in their native languages, and that's why a lot of people couldn't understand them, and this is why there was a commotion of what they were speaking. I think I've said multitude.
Oh, did you say all this? Okay, good. And Vincenzo, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to give me an idiom, a verbal phrase, or an introductory phrase.
Yeah. Oh, okay. An idiom at the beginning, teacher? No.
Okay? At the beginning,
Okay. Okay.
what's your
To
you gonna the phrase is at the beginning? That's what you're gonna use? That's not an idiom, though.
an idiom. Okay.
That's not an idiom. That's a phrase. At the beginning. Okay, you may begin.
To begin. Yes, two boys were traveling in a train, and they were having an argument about uh, the travel. So one of them find the travel very boring, very boring. So they were having this conversation, and uh, about the argument that will ensue. So one of them thought that thought it was invited, but the other said he volunteered about volunteered about this travel. And the second one said that his was the first one was very important for the destination because he was able he is able to speak in the native language of the people at the destination. So when in the second guy was murmured this, and they arrived to a station where they see a thief that was stealing a purse from a lady at this station. The state When the lady was distracting the thieves steal the purse, and they try to stop the thief, not crying, yes,
Hmm.
and in order to have the purse back stolen to the lady, stolen to the lady from and yes, they interested also the indigenous, but the indigenous didn't understand what they are going to say because it was a different language.
Hmm.
There was a lot of commotion about the multitude of people that were there, uh, but it wasn't possible to have an interpretation of what they are on what they are talking about. It's what this multitude of people uh, couldn't were were very not concentrating but distracting. So the stolen purse could be taken by the
Robber.
robber. Yeah.
Okay. And there again, you're forcing yourself to think, and try to find some English words. I don't know if you said at the beginning, unless that was the very first thing that you said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you made it so easy. You were supposed to make it a little bit of a challenge, but okay. It is as it were. So there
Yes.
it was.
Perhaps
Okay.
it could be more linear, but I couldn't reach a very
Okay.
linear story. I
Okay.
would
Wait.
like
Wait.
to be
Wait.
more. Yes, yes, excuse
Come
me.
on. Read this for me, Quasm. is going to be Vincenzo, and the official will be Igor.
Okay.
Try not to sound like you're reading, and you may begin.
I understand you witness a fact in progress. Is this correct? Please recall as much as you can about the event.
Yes, most definitely. I was getting off of the train to get a snack. I heard a lady screaming something, and a man was running as she pointed.
I see. Please continue.
After I interrupted my friend's sleep, I insisted that we apprehend the thief.
Are you able to describe the thief?
I think so. He had medium length dark hair and a small build. I'm sorry I didn't see his face at all, but he was about the height of Gasmin.
That's height. Height.
The height of Gasmin, yeah, height.
Did you actually see this thief steal the purse?
This is quite bizarre.
Oh, really? What exactly do you mean?
We were yelling stop in our indigenous language, but no one would help us or the lady.
Okay. So there you have the dialogue of what was going on in the story between um, Quasum, Gashvin, and the
For
conductor,
example,
the,
Aqueduct.
the person at the train station.
Uh,
This brings us back to the top of our hour again, and that ends our discourse for today. Continue practicing, talk all the time, uh, practice making up conversations with yourself. Find words that are difficult for you to use, and then wrap the difficult words around things that you know. When you take difficult and challenging words and put them with things that you know, it makes remembering those more difficult words easier. This is what we call mini stories. Mini stories are just tiny little stories that you use to help you remember something deeply
mm.
and for the long term.
Excuse me,
Final.
can I say thing, teacher? Excuse me if I jump into your speech.
No,
Yeah, I think this is a good method also for to discover your kind of memory. Which kind of memory do
okay,
you have? Do you have?
okay.
I think this
You have.
I think so too.
Because sometimes we are not focused about the kind of memory we have, and this is a good method in order to remember something also.
Yes. Yeah, I think
And
so.
yes,
That's what
okay,
that's what my research said. My research shows that
uh, yes,
many stories are good. What did you want to say, Igor?
Uh, I wanted to say that I agree with
Vincent.
Vincenzo that this kind of practice is really great for the memory. It
yeah.
keeps you going, really keeps you going.
Right.
Another thing what is interesting, teacher, is that if you can say the story with only verbs, you can synthesize. But perhaps someone has difficulties in choose the right verb,
Hmm.
because I can say I went out, take a taxi,
Well, this would be
go to the
yeah,
supermarket, went to the
yeah,
supermarket. You can synthesize, but if you
I,
know all the verbs in the right, you can put the
yeah.
verb
I
in the
know. I got
right order.
yeah, but here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that as far as it relates to me. I don't care about the grammar. And if I had to take the time to find all the verbs, it would make me put more time into something that I'm not interested in doing because that's not what the research says. The research doesn't say put all the verbs, nouns, but that is a process, that is a path, that is a method. But the
Yeah.
passion, it is the passion that is going to get the person where they need to be. The
May
method,
I ask a question?
Yes.
yes,
It's if it's all right, of course.
sure.
Uh, is it easy for you to understand what I'm trying to say? My pronunciation, how I sound.
Yes, it's easy for me to understand what you're saying. Yes, I
Uh,
understand. I
also,
understand.
Also, I was trying to adjust my intonation to sound more like a native English speaker.
Okay.
Does it sound at least close to this?
Okay. I don't know about that, but I understand so far I've understood I think 95% of what you said, if not 100%. But going back to what Vincenzo is saying, Vincenzo, my coaching method is the path. It's a strategy. And what you're suggesting is a strategy also. And that is a strategy that someone else who would be wanting to write things out might do. I'm not saying that I won't do it, but right now I've just got enough mini stories that are already prepared that unless someone is going to pay me to do it for them, I don't think I'm going to do it. And that would be like a private class. And if I do it for a private class, then I will bring it to this class. But for this class, I do things in groups. But it's a lot of work to even write the stories that
Yeah.
I'm writing now. So, but anyway, thank you for that.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
going to say I'll be gone for another hour and then I'll be off for a while. But I'll be coming back in 5 minutes
Okay.
with another
Thank you.
story. Okay,
Thank you.
bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to you too.